You've been praying. You've been waiting. You've been wondering, God, when will it be my time? But let me tell you the truth that most people never hear. You are making a mistake. You think He's forgotten you. You think you've been skipped. You think the silence means the story is over. But you are wrong. Listen to me very carefully. God has not forgotten you. He is not ignoring your prayers. He's not punishing you. He is preparing you. I'm not here to waste your time. This is not another feel-good message to make you smile for a moment and forget it tomorrow. No, this is the word your soul has been crying out for. You didn't land here by accident. This video, this message, this moment, it's divinely timed. Because there's something you've been waiting on. And God sent me to tell you, the wait is not a waste. The silence is not a rejection. The delay is not denial. You've been faithful, you've stayed in the fire. You've walked through storms that nobody else saw, and now, God is waiting for the perfect moment to bless you. But you must hear the full message. Don't skip. Don't scroll. Don't click away. Because if you leave now, you'll miss the instruction that unlocks the very blessing you've been waiting for. Stay with me to the end, and I promise you, you will see your situation differently. You will understand what God is doing in this season. And most importantly, you will finally realize God has been closer than you ever imagined. So take a deep breath. Quiet your heart. Let everything else fade away for a few minutes. This isn't just a video. This is a divine conversation between you and the one who created you. Let's begin. You think silence means nothing's happening. No, heaven has already circled the date. But before the blessing breaks through, you must understand this. You might not want to hear this, but I'll say it anyway. God is not running on your clock. He's not concerned about how long you've been waiting, how many years have passed, or how many people seem to have moved ahead of you. You see, the biggest mistake you and I make is believing that just because something hasn't happened yet, it's not going to happen. That's a lie. That's not how God works. His blessings don't run on anxiety, fear, or pressure. His blessings are never rushed. They are divinely scheduled, and they arrive right on time, His time. I used to wrestle with this a lot. I'd pray, fast, speak in faith, but still, nothing. It felt like I was stuck in a holding pattern while everyone else was living in breakthrough. I started wondering, did I miss my moment? Or worse, is God ignoring me? But then I came across Isaiah 60:22, and it changed me forever. It says, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Not when you think it should happen. Not when the world expects it. When the time is right. That verse is not just a promise. It's a declaration from the mouth of God Himself. It means every delay has a reason. Every closed door has a purpose. Every detour has direction. But here's what you have to understand. God is more interested in your development than your deadline. And waiting is the furnace where faith is forged. It's not a passive season. It's an active, divine training ground. Because if He gave you what you asked for before you were ready, it could crush you. It would become a burden instead of a blessing. When God makes you wait, He's not withholding good from you. He's preparing you for greater. He's building something inside of you that's going to be able to carry what you prayed for. Your character, your wisdom, your endurance, those things are being shaped in silence. He's making you strong enough, stable enough, and spiritually mature enough to receive something eternal, not temporary. The word says in Ecclesiastes 3:1, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." That includes your healing, your success, your marriage, your calling, your restoration. Everything has a divine season, and just because it's not happening right now doesn't mean it's not coming. It just means it's not the season yet. But I know this season hurts. I know you're tired. I've been in that place where you start to wonder, what's the point of even praying anymore? But hear me, the silence of God is not the absence of God. In fact, silence is often His loudest form of preparation. You're not abandoned. You're not overlooked. You are being positioned with precision. He's moving pieces behind the curtain that you can't see, setting up divine appointments, protecting you from what you're not ready for, and perfecting you for what He's already promised. The delay is not His denial. It's alignment. He's aligning your heart, your relationships, your mindset, so when the blessing comes, you won't fumble it. You won't waste it. You won't idolize it. You'll steward it for His glory. The pain you feel now is not punishment. It's preparation. And when the right moment comes, when the heavens declare that the time is now, nothing will be able to stop what God is releasing over your life. So, if you're waiting right now, don't give up. Don't curse the delay. Embrace it. Trust it. Because when the time is right, He will make it happen. And when He does, it'll be better than anything you tried to force on your own. What if I told you the blessing isn't delayed, it's being handcrafted in the dark? You're about to see what God's been building behind the scenes. I need to tell you something that will challenge your thinking. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean God isn't doing it. In fact, the greatest moves of God often happen in the dark. The work He does behind the scenes is more powerful than the miracles we celebrate in the open. You might feel like nothing is happening in your life right now, but let me assure you, the blessing is being prepared even as you listen to these words. I remember seasons where I cried myself to sleep, begging God to do something, anything, that would prove He was still with me. But the heavens stayed quiet. The silence didn't mean He wasn't moving. It meant He was working behind the curtain of my life, setting things in motion that my eyes weren't yet ready to see. You don't plant a seed and expect a tree the next morning. There's a time of hiddenness where the soil is doing its secret work. And you, right now, might be in that secret place where God is cultivating your blessing under the surface. John 13:7 says, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." I love that verse because it speaks directly to your season of confusion and waiting. You may not get it now. You may not like it now. But God isn't asking for your understanding. He's asking for your trust. He's orchestrating connections, aligning divine timing, and refining your heart so you don't sabotage what He's preparing. I've learned that sometimes God has to pause the blessing to protect you. Not from enemies, but from your own unreadiness. Because what good is a platform if you're not grounded? What good is influence if your character can't carry the weight? So when God delays, it's often to mature you, to grow you, to develop in you the kind of strength and humility that can hold the blessing with wisdom and reverence. Romans 8:28 reminds us, and we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, not some things. All things. Even the ones that feel like setbacks. Even the ones that break your heart. God is using the betrayal, the silence, the delays, and the disappointments to set the stage for something you couldn't even imagine. He's not just giving you what you want, He's giving you what's divinely designed for you. And here's the most beautiful part. When that blessing arrives, It won't be something recycled or leftover. It will be tailor-made, just for you. The right opportunity, the right relationship, the right breakthrough, formed in the secret place of God's timing and delivered at the exact moment when your spirit is ready to receive it. So don't mistake the stillness for inactivity. God is moving. Heaven is building. Angels are aligning. Your blessing isn't delayed. It's being perfected. And when the fullness of time comes, you won't have to chase it. It will arrive, wrapped in purpose, soaked in grace, and exactly on time. But even when you can't see His hands, can you still trust His heart? Your response in the waiting reveals more than you think. Let's be real. Waiting on God can feel like a spiritual wilderness. The longer you wait, the louder the doubts become. And the enemy loves to whisper in those quiet spaces. If God really loved you, why hasn't He answered yet? I know those whispers. I've wrestled with them. But let me tell you something I've learned through every hard, silent season. Your faith in the waiting is building more than you realize. True faith doesn't show up when things are easy. It's not real faith when everything goes your way. Real faith is forged in the unseen. It's trusting God when there's no evidence yet. It's praising Him when the doors stay closed. It's waking up day after day and still choosing to believe, even when you're walking through fog. And let me remind you of this. Heaven pays attention to your faith in the waiting. Hebrews 11:1 defines it clearly. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Not what you see, what you don't see. That's where the fire of true belief burns. And if you're in a season right now where God feels silent, I want you to know, it doesn't mean He's absent. It means He's watching what you do with the silence. I'd had to learn this over and over again. I wanted God to move, to act, to break through, but instead He was asking me to stand, to trust, and to worship while nothing around me changed. And here's the thing. Faith doesn't just change your circumstances. It changes you. It deepens your roots. It clarifies your motives. It separates your desire for a blessing from your hunger for the blesser. Psalm 27:14 tells us, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." That word wait isn't passive. It means to stay ready. Stay strong. Stay expectant. The waiting season is not a punishment. It's preparation. And what's being built inside you will outlast any blessing you're waiting on. Because what good is a door opening if your soul is not prepared to walk through it? Let me say this as clearly as I can. Your faith today is preparing your capacity for tomorrow's blessing. When you keep believing, when you keep standing, when you worship in the dark, you're enlarging your spirit. You're becoming the kind of person who can carry greater things. Don't miss that. This season may feel slow, but it's sacred. And heaven sees every ounce of faith you pour out in it. So no, you're not crazy for believing. You're not wasting time by trusting. You're not weak for hoping when others have given up. You are doing the very thing that moves the heart of God. Your faith is not in vain. Your waiting is not empty. God sees it, He honors it, and when the moment is right, He will reward it with a blessing you're fully ready to receive. So keep standing, keep waiting, and keep believing. The blessing is on the way. The danger isn't just in doubting, it's in moving too fast. Because rushing what's divine can cost more than you're ready to pay. Let me ask you something straight up. Have you ever tried to rush God? I have. I've begged Him to speed things up, to make it happen faster, to just do it already. But here's what I've learned. Our desperation doesn't speed up God's sovereignty. You can cry, plead, even throw spiritual tantrums, but if it's not God's time, it won't happen. And honestly, that's a blessing. We live in a world that idolizes speed, fast to success, instant gratification, quick breakthroughs. But spiritual growth doesn't come in a microwave. It's cooked in a slow fire. And when we try to run ahead of God, we often walk ourselves into disaster. I've done it. I've made decisions in haste because I was tired of waiting. And every single time, I had to come crawling back to God with regret, asking Him to fix what I broke in my impatience. Proverbs 19:2 says, "Desire without knowledge is not good. How much more will hasty feet miss the way?" That verse hit me hard because it speaks directly to what we do when we act out of desperation. Our desire for the blessing is real, but without wisdom, we take detours that delay us even further. Your urgency can't replace God's process. And sometimes, the worst thing God could do is give you what you want before you're ready for it. There's something beautiful about waiting quietly, not because you're passive, but because you trust deeply. Lamentations 3:25-26 tells us, "The Lord is good to those whose hope is in Him, to the one who seeks Him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord." Quiet waiting is not weakness. It's strength under control. It's the kind of faith that knows if God hasn't moved yet, then it must not be time. And that's okay. When you surrender to God's timing, you stop settling for shortcuts. You stop chasing things that look like blessings but aren't built to last. And you start living in peace, even in the middle of delay. Because you know that when the moment arrives, it'll come with the fullness of God's favor, not the residue of your panic. Here's what you need to understand. God's timing is protective. He's not just interested in getting you to the destination. He's shaping who you are along the journey. So, don't rush Him. Don't settle for something good and miss something God ordained. His plan is always better. His route is always wiser. And His pace is always perfect. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're being synchronized with divine wisdom. Let the world rush. Let the crowd run. You stay in step with God. Because when He moves, everything aligns. The doors swing open. The way becomes clear. And the blessing flows effortlessly, without striving. So breathe. Release your desperation. Trust that the God who designed time knows exactly what time is best for you. Something's shifting. Not in your timeline, but in your spirit. And if you're paying attention, you'll recognize the signs. Let me ask you a powerful question. What if your blessing is closer than you think? What if all the pain, all the delays, and all the confusion were never meant to break you, but to prepare your eyes to recognize what God is about to do next? The truth is, God never moves without signs. But the problem is, most people miss them. They're looking for fireworks, but God often speaks in whispers. They're looking for a door to swing wide open, but God begins by shifting the atmosphere of your spirit. If you're in a place where you feel restless, unsettled, like something is shifting in your life, but you can't quite explain it, I need you to pay attention. Because one of the first signs that God is preparing to bless you is a spiritual sensitivity that begins to rise inside of you. You begin to feel things more deeply. Your old habits start to lose their taste. The crowd you used to roll with doesn't feel right anymore. That's not random. That's divine stirring. God is waking you up. He's tuning your ears to His frequency. He's aligning your heart with heaven. Isaiah 43:9 19 speaks directly to this moment. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Look at that word, perceive. That's spiritual sensitivity. That's not just about physical sight, it's about spiritual awareness. You have to perceive it before you receive it. You have to be able to discern the shift in your season before the blessing physically arrives. Because when God starts moving, He first moves in you, and then He moves around you. You'll begin to notice strange patterns, unexpected favor in unlikely places. Doors that were locked suddenly begin to creak open. Opportunities that seemed dead begin to stir with life again. People who were once a distraction start falling away without explanation. These are signs. These are divine fingerprints. Heaven is orchestrating your next breakthrough. And here's something I've personally experienced. Before the provision comes, God often gives you peace. That's your confirmation. Peace that doesn't make sense. Peace that shows up in the middle of chaos. That's not your mind. It's your spirit telling you that the shift is real. It's the Holy Spirit confirming that the blessing is loading, that the season is changing, and that you're standing on the edge of something holy. Amos 9:13 paints the picture perfectly. The days are coming when the reaper will be overtaken by the plowman. In other words, the harvest is going to come in so fast, you won't be able to keep up with it. One blessing will chase another. That's not a fantasy. It's the kind of overflow that happens when you've waited on God faithfully and perceived the signs correctly. But here's the key. Don't ignore divine patterns. How did God move the last time you were blessed? How did He shift things? What did He remove? What did He align? God is consistent. He often repeats His rhythm. When you study His ways, you learn His pace. And once you understand His pace, you stop panicking. You stop striving. You start aligning. So I ask you, can you feel it? The ground is shaking. The air is shifting. The signs are all around you. Don't close your eyes now. Stay alert. Stay sensitive. Because your blessing isn't just coming. It's already in motion. Heaven is signaling. Will you recognize it when it arrives? But don't stop at receiving. The blessing has a mission and your purpose is waiting inside of it. Now that you've waited, prayed, endured, and aligned, the blessing arrives. But here's what many people don't understand. The blessing is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new assignment. God doesn't bless you just so you can sit back and admire the gift. He blesses you so you can become a vessel, a living, breathing testimony of His goodness and power. Gratitude and purpose are the key to unlocking the full potential of your breakthrough. When God finally opens the door, when He delivers the miracle, when He answers the prayer, you have a choice. You can either become entitled or you can become entrusted. The first mindset hoards the blessing. The second one stewards it. And I need you to hear me. God doesn't just give blessings, He gives responsibility. Deuteronomy 8:18 makes this clear. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. That means the job, the opportunity, the influence, the idea, the platform. It all came from Him. You didn't get here by accident. You didn't grind your way into divine favor. Yes, you worked, but it was God who gave you the strength. Yes, you knocked, but it was He who opened the door. So now the question becomes, what will you do with what God gives you? Because every blessing has a purpose far greater than your comfort. You were blessed to build, blessed to give, blessed to serve, blessed to shine the light of God in places that were dark before. The blessing is not just for you. It's a tool to advance the kingdom. It's a weapon to tear down strongholds. It's a resource to lift others up. 2 Corinthians 9:11 says it beautifully. You will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion. That's the mission. You're not blessed to flex. You're blessed to bless. You're not elevated to look down. You're elevated to reach back and pull others up. Gratitude keeps you humble. Purpose keeps you focused. And together, they create a cycle of multiplication that keeps God's favor flowing in your life. But be careful. Don't idolize the blessing. Don't get so wrapped up in the gift that you forget the giver. Keep your eyes on Him. Keep your heart surrendered. Keep your hands open. The more you hold the blessing with gratitude, the more you walk in it with purpose, the more you'll see God expand your influence, your resources, and your reach. And let me leave you with this. Who you became in the waiting is more valuable than what you received at the end of it. The patience, the trust, the faith, the humility. That is the real reward. Because now, you're not just someone who has a blessing. You're someone who carries the mark of God's process. You're someone who's been refined, proven, commissioned. So receive what God has given you, but receive it with a heart that says, God, I will honor you with this. I will serve others through this. I will never forget where it came from. That's when the blessing becomes legacy. That's when the breakthrough becomes a movement. That's when heaven continues to flow through your life. Not just once, but over and over again. You've waited. You've been faithful. You've carried hope through silence and believed through tears. And now, as you stand at the edge of what God has prepared, I want you to pause. Breathe. Feel that quiet stirring in your spirit. That's not just emotion. That's divine presence. The same God who saw you waiting is here, right now, ready to pour peace, strength, and purpose into you. Let's not just end this moment. Let's step into it. Let's pray together. Say this with me, out loud, because this is your moment to connect with heaven. Father, I come to you now. I quiet my heart and still my mind. I choose to lay down every distraction, every worry, every timeline I've been trying to control. I open my hands and release the need to rush. I surrender to your rhythm, to your pace, to your perfect will. You are God, and I am yours. I don't want to move ahead of you. I want to walk beside you. Breathe peace into my spirit right now, Lord. Let your timing become my rest. Lord, I confess, I've been tired of waiting. I've doubted you at times. I've compared my journey to others. I've felt overlooked, forgotten, even unseen. But today, I bring that pain to you. I lay it all at your feet, the disappointment, the fear, the questions. Take the weight off my shoulders, God. Wash away my frustration and fill me with fresh hope. I release every burden that has tried to break me, and I receive the strength that only your Spirit can give. Now I declare this with boldness. Your timing is perfect. Say it out loud. Your timing is perfect. I may not see it yet, but I believe it. I trust that every delay is divine protection. Every not yet is preparing my right now. I will not lose faith while I wait. I will not let fear define my future. When the time is right, you, Lord, will make it happen. I trust your word. I trust your plan. I trust your heart. God, I know you've been shaping me. Every trial, every test, every quiet season, it's not wasted. It's been training me to carry what's coming. I declare that this waiting has purpose. You are forming in me the patience, the wisdom, and the strength I'll need for my next season. You are teaching me to walk by faith, not by sight. So plant purpose deep in me, Lord. Let my waiting produce fruit that will last. I declare that I am not forgotten. I am chosen. I am not behind. I am aligned. I am not weak. I am being refined. You have marked me for this moment. You've called me by name, and I am ready. I am your child, your servant, your vessel. I affirm who I am in you, favored, covered, and prepared. The world may not see it yet, but heaven knows who I am. I walk in that identity with confidence. Now, Lord, I lift my hands to receive. I receive the blessing you've been preparing. I receive the opportunities you've designed. I receive the peace that confirms your presence. Pour it out, Father. Let your will manifest in my life at the perfect moment. I won't force it. I won't chase it. I'll simply receive it. And when it comes, I will use it to serve, to love, to give, to glorify you in every way. Thank you, Father. Thank you for the waiting that refined me. Thank you for the blessing that's on its way. Thank you for being faithful when I was faithless. I seal this moment with gratitude. I rest in your goodness. I trust in your timing. And I walk forward in peace, knowing that when the moment is right, you will make it happen. Amen. Wait. Don't go yet. What if this is your perfect moment, the very one heaven has been preparing all along? Stay right here because something sacred is being released, and your obedience in this moment may unlock more than you think. If this word spoke directly to your spirit, I want you to know, it's not just for you. You are being called to carry this oil forward. When you give, you're not just supporting a channel, you're sowing into a movement that awakens the weary and revives the waiting. You are lighting fires in hearts that have nearly gone old and speaking life into dry bones all across the world. As it says in Luke 6:38, give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is more than generosity. It's prophetic alignment. I believe God is saying to some of you right now, partner with me in this work and watch how I release the blessing I've been preparing for you. If you feel that nudge, don't ignore it. Sow into this word today through Super Thanks, PayPal, or membership. Links are below. As you give, I declare multiplication, divine provision, and uncommon favor will chase you down. Give now. Don't wait. Obedience activates overflow. If this word stirred your spirit, hype this video right now. It's not just a click, it's a public declaration that you're standing in faith for God's perfect timing in your life. That hype button tells YouTube, this message matters. This message must be heard. And while you're at it, go ahead and like the video too. It fuels the mission and spreads the message. What about you? Are you in a season of waiting right now? Then drop a comment below and boldly declare, I'm waiting on God's perfect timing. Or share your specific prayer request. I read them and we pray over them. This community is more than content. It's a spiritual covering. Don't watch in silence. Let your voice rise. Someone's breakthrough may begin because you spoke up. You don't have to walk this road alone. Let prayer be your shield and strength. Subscribe to this channel today. Amen.